Hi, I am Sadie Mae Braden, and this is me. To start off, the quote that resonates with me the most is "My heart is a mosaic of everyone I've ever loved." And this quote really sticks with me because all throughout my life, I have struggled with my personality, my identity, trying to figure out who I am because I felt like everybody else was just putting themselves onto me and I became them. When in reality, they just became part of me. Everybody who has been even the slightest bit influential in my life has become a part of my personality. And I think that that's really, really beautiful. I have a lot of things that make me super duper happy, and a lot of them are my family, my friends, the beach, kind of stuff like this.
Last night you were looking so bright. How did I miss it? You
Ow!
already dressed so
Ow! I
cute.
didn't hurt.
Hi. All your hands so clean. Don't you understand? Saying goodbye.
What you got the flag?
Speaking of, my plans for after high school is to go to UTSA for 2 years for a biology major while taking pre dental classes. And then after 2 years at UTSA, I'm going to switch to UT Health and I'm going to do their dental hygienist program and hopefully graduate with a bachelor's in dental hygiene and pre dental. Going along that same course, that's where I hope to be in the next year is at UTSA studying biology, hopefully taking anatomy classes of some sort, learning about the human body, the jaw, the mouth, all sorts of stuff like that. And in the next 5 years, I really hope to be in my own apartment with my boyfriend, who hopefully in 5 years will be my fiance. I know that sounds really young, but what can I say? I want to be married young. So, in the future, my hobbies would probably be really similar to what they are now. Hopefully, doing SFX makeup still, doing crazy hair looks, probably skateboarding, doing photography, maybe even videography, because I have been vlogging on YouTube on another account recently. So hopefully I kind of continue and stick with that. And I also hope to be getting a motorcycle in the near future. And that was influenced by my boyfriend, but I've wanted one for a while. So hopefully I will have one within the next couple years and that will become one of my bigger hobbies and also working on cars. Hopefully my future is filled with prosperity, good vibes, my boyfriend, dogs. I would love to have kids in the future, a big house. I want to travel the world. I want to go to Italy and France and go eat a bunch of different food and just kind of figure out how the world is outside of Texas and San Antonio. As per the actual English assignment part of all of this, one of the books that I read this year stood out to me a lot, actually, more than class assignments normally do. Sorry, Miss Pena. Um, and it was Hyperbole in Me. I related to the main character a lot. Um, and it stood out to me because I relate to the main character very heavily. And I relate to her, like, having the feeling of no motivation to do things and just having no motivation, period. It's really made an impact on me by showing me that even though I feel like I can't do anything, I just have to try. It also impacted me because I have been through the ditches of mental health, and to see someone put that in such a com like a comically relieving way is very interesting to me. It's very new. It kind of makes me see it in a different way than I used to. And I think that that's really beautiful. I think that you have to have a special talent to be able to turn issues like procrastination and having no motivation and just being downright depressed. I think you have to have a real talent and a knack to put that in a comical sense, to relate it more to people instead of just mental health, kind of stuff like that. I also just think that the character is really stinking cute. The character is like really goofy, and I really like that. And back to the college stuff. At UTSA, they have a bunch of different organizations that I really like personally, but the first one that I saw actually that stood out to me the most is Alpha Delta Pi. So, a little bit about them. Alpha Delta Pi was the first secret society, like exclusively just for women, founded on May 15th, 1851, at Wesleyan Female College in Macon, Georgia. The sorority is rich with tradition and sisterhood. Alpha Delta Pi sisters strive for excellence in philanthropy, academic performance, and campus leadership. In keeping up with our motto, we live for each other. Our members, their members, have founded a place of support, shared value, and personal development. Opportunities abound for the sisters of Alpha Delta Pi. They look forward to sharing them with us. They're also part of the Greek system and a home away from home. UTSA's Lada Alpha chapter was founded in 2016. The sorority is committed to sisterhood values, social responsibility, and high academic standards. Alpha Delta Pi has initiated more than 235,000 women. Wow. Oh, initiated more than 235,000 women and continue to remain active throughout the United States and even Canada. Wow. And then the rest of that's just kind of their social stuff. So that was one of the sororities that I really found interesting. There's another one that I found. It's not necessarily a sorority, but it's an organization that's like a sorority, but it's included for both women and men. And it's called Alpha Epsilon Delta, and it's the National Pre Health Honor Society. The mission of the society is to encourage and recognize excellence in pre health scholarship, to stimulate an appreciation of the importance of pre health education, to promote communication between health and pre health students and educators, to provide a forum for students with common interests to use its resources to benefit health organizations, charities, and the communities. I personally do think that I will be entering this organization just because it's the pre health, and UTSA is kind of like a precursor school to UT Health if you're going there for one of their medical programs. Because UTSA, you take all your pre classes and then you switch to UT Health, and that's actually considered a professional finishing medical school. Excuse me. And on to the second part of this whole college thing. The writing center at UTSA is actually really nice. I am looking at their webpage right now, and their writing center actually has tutoring all week. They have scheduled appointments that you can go in and make, and they have a scheduling system. And Apparently, if you need help with letters or writing assignments like essays, kind of stuff like that, you don't actually have to have the essay or letter finished or even a draft whenever you go in there. The entire point of this is to have them help you figure out how to write everything. You can make appointments and register for the appointment system on an online kind of thing. They have tutoring also. Their tutoring is, oh wow. They offer online tutoring 7 days a week and have face-to-face tutoring during the week at the main campus and downtown locations. I think you do have to make an online appointment for that. Yeah, you do. And then in the UTSA academic honesty policy, I didn't necessarily know what that means. I looked it up and it's basically just stating that you cannot be dishonest when you are trying to apply for UTSA. You cannot lie about your grades or put something fake in the application process. You are supposed to be 100% honest. They do not stand for using AI in the actual assignments. Um, It says all students are expected and encouraged to contribute to such an atmosphere in every way possible, especially by observing all accepted principles of academic honesty. It is recognized, however, that a large university will include students that do not understand or appreciate or practice these principles. Consequently, alleged cases of academic dishonesty involving UTSA students will inevitably occur with major consequences to follow. So, I was looking at their syllabus. The UTSA biology syllabus. It's really, really, really interesting. It's a really, really good syllabus, actually. It has the semester and the year, the um the course registration number. It has the name of the course, the title, the instructor evaluation, the textbooks, course evaluation, everything kind of like that. And it lists all of the different courses that you can take in within the biology major. And they have human anatomy and physiology. I think that's really cool. Contemporary biology. They have um, bioscience labs for science majors. I'm going into the medical part of it, so I don't necessarily have to do those classes, but I will be doing the human anatomy and physiology classes. I think that that would be very, very helpful to me. As for the giving back aspect of this whole thing, my church, I go to Bulverde Methodist Church, and it's beautiful church. If you need a church, go check it out. My church actually offers a bunch of different ministries and organizations that gives back to the community and helps them. We have a food drive and a food pantry that goes on continuously all year. We have different mission trips. We have organizations that will go out to the downtown area and they will work at like soup kitchens and they'll go help out like that. They have Alcoholics Anonymous. They have this thing called Stand Tall, which is a women run, woman only organization that happens, I believe, 1 or 2 times a year. And you go, and it's to help women with their faith and whatever they're going through, and just a bunch of stuff like that. There's organizations that make quilts and blankets and clothes, and we give them to the homeless. We donate it to Salvation Army, Women and Children's Centers, and my dad actually used to be president of the Bulverde Methodist Men Fellowship. They're called the Bums. Oh, that sounds a little bit silly, but they're called the Bums. And he used to be president of it, and they do barbecues, food drives. They have scholarships set up for the end of the year for the seniors. Just all of the organizations that are at my church, I have already either been a part of or I have been involved with or around for more than 12 years of my life. I've been to this church since I was not 12 years. Maybe I've I've been going to this church since I was 6. And I've been involved in everything with this church, and I plan on continuing to give back to all of the organizations. I myself will become a part of the women's administration there at the church. It's like the Bums but for women, because the women can't be in the Bums. But this project has really kind of opened my eyes to what the adult world looks like. It has shown me what I really want for my future and what I want it to look like. I gathered more information about UTSA, UT Health, the programs that they offer, and just overall, it's been a really eye opening project. Normally, I really don't like doing projects, but this one was a little bit different since it was something that I didn't have to Google a lot of the answers to, or I didn't have to ask my mom for help with sentence starters. I just was kind of able to do it because a lot of it was about me, but a lot of it was about my future and the places that I'm going to go, the programs, the organizations. I only have to look up one thing about my church, and that was it. Um, I think that this is a really good end of year English project. I think that it's very helpful for people that don't necessarily know what they're going to do past high school. It kind of helps them to see, oh, well maybe I could do this, maybe I could do that. And it's just overall helpful. I found it a very intriguing project, and I actually really enjoyed doing this. And the fact that I could do it over a video was it's very nice. For those of you that know me, I don't like doing assignments. I don't like doing homework. It's not my thing. Not me. But this was very fun. I enjoyed looking and contacting UTSA. I even went to my church and talked to some of my pastors about this, and I got to film some really cool clips. It was overall a cool project that really kind of helped show me who I was. So, if you're seeing this and you're not Miss Pena, I guess you get to know a little bit more about me. But if you are Miss Pena, thank you for assigning this project. Thank you for letting me do it over a video. I think that this was really interesting. And hey, now you know a little bit more about me.